Dear students, continuing with our lecture series on organic reaction mechanism, this is our 47th lecture, and today we will discuss a new topic, aliphatic electrophilic substitution. Now, aliphatic electrophilic substitution is a very unique type of organic reaction in which an atom that is attached to an aliphatic system is replaced by an electrophile. So, this is completely opposite to what we have seen in case of aliphatic nucleophilic substitution. There the nucleophile is replaced by some leaving group, and here the electrophile on an aliphatic system is substituted by some leaving group, and in most of the cases proton can also act as a leaving group in aliphatic system, but this removal of the proton from the aliphatic system depends on the acidity of that proton. If that proton is more acidic, then there is more likelihood that that proton can be replaced. So, if we say in case of alkanes, the removal of proton is a difficult process, because in alkanes proton is unreactive, because this is not an acidic species over there. But the electrophilic aliphatic substitution can be carried out at more acidic protons. For example, if we are having this type of system where we are having a carbonyl group present at the next carbon to which this proton is present. Now, because of this electron-active oxygen, the electrodensity will be attracted towards oxygen, and this carbon will have a delta positive charge, and because of this this will attract electron density towards itself, and this proton will become an acidic proton. So, any substrate where the proton is alpha to a carbonyl group, that proton will be an acidic proton. Similarly, in case of alkynes, if we take, this proton is very acidic because of the sp hybridized carbons over there. And then in cases of organometallic compounds also, this portion of the molecule is acidic in nature, and that can be removed as an electrophile, and that can substitute the different types of aliphatic systems. Then in addition to this, another electrophilic substitution on aliphatic system can be anionic cleavage, where breaking of the carbon-carbon double bond will take place. One part will have positive charge, other part will have negative charge, and that positively charged part will act as an electrophile, and it will undergo electrophilic aliphatic substitution reaction. So, on the basis of mechanism, we can differentiate the electrophilic aliphatic substitution into these four types. One is SE1 type of reaction, that is aliphatic electrophilic substitution unimolecular. Then second category is electrophilic aliphatic substitution bimolecular, where the attack of the electrophile will take place from the front side, from where the leaving group is to be removed or substituted. Then third category is electrophilic substitution bimolecular, where the attack of the electrophile will take place from the back side of the molecule to which the leaving group is attached. And then third category is electrophilic substitution internal. This is also a bimolecular mechanism. So, we can categorize the different types of electrophilic aliphatic substitution reactions into these 4 types, and we will discuss about the general mechanism in all the cases. Now, for example, unimolecular electrophilic substitution reaction in case of aliphatic systems, the mechanism of these reaction is similar to what we have seen in case of SN1 substitution. So, in unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reactions, we have seen the species which is attacking the aliphatic system is a nucleophile, and only difference over here is the species which is going to attack is an electrophile. So, like SN1 reactions, this is also a 2-step mechanism. In the first step, the substrate will undergo ionization slowly, and we will get a carbanion and a cationic species which is formed by the leaving group, and this leaving group may be proton or any other species, depending upon that how we take what type of substrate is taken for electrophilic aliphatic substitution. Now, the second step is the ions formed over here. The carbanion in this case will combine very fastly with the electrophile which is present in the, under the reaction conditions. They will combine to give us a stable product. So, this is how this X will be substituted by an electrophile, and overall the reaction will be an aliphatic electrophilic substitution reaction which is taking place by unimolecular mechanism. We say unimolecular mechanism because this reaction follows first order kinetics. Why this reaction follows first order kinetics? Reason is that rate of the reaction is determined by the first step, that is the slowest step will determine the rate of the reaction, and in this case only substrate is involved, electrophile is not involved. So, that is why this reaction is a unimolecular electrophilic aliphatic substitution reaction, and as per IUPAC, the designation of SEI or unimolecular electrophilic substitution reaction is DE plus AE, and this follows first order kinetics as I have already told you. Then the other evidence for these types of reactions, that these reactions they follow unimolecular mechanism, is obtained from base catalyzed tautomerization. You know, when this proton is removed in presence of D2O, what will happen? First, as you have seen in this mechanism, in the first step, that means which will be a slow step, this H will be removed and a carbanion is generated over here plus a proton is formed. So, X positive in this example is proton and rest of the molecule is R negative, and you know, when negative charge is present on this carbon, this will undergo tautomerization and enolic form. This will be in equilibrium with the enolic form. Carbanion generated will be in equilibrium with the enolic form. Now, if we have taken an optically active reactant like this, when carbanion is generated and that is in equilibrium with the enolic form, then the base OD negative will again remove this proton from here in the enolic form, and deuterium will be taken from water and racemization will take place. So, if this reaction is following this mechanism, then the intermediate formed may combine with the D2O again to give us a deuterated substrate which we have started with. So in this reaction, rate of deuterium exchange was found to be same as rate of racemization. So that means there is an isotopic effect, and because of this racemization, it is proved that this type of species, they are formed during the reaction, which can combine with the electrophile from the deuterium, and deuteration will also take place due to racemization. So this is a direct evidence about this mechanism, that this mechanism take place in these two steps. Then another example was that if we follow the base catalyzed hydrogen exchange, say we are having this type of substrate, and we react this with deuterated base, again this will exchange proton with the deuterium, and we will get a deuterated product, and this deuterated product can only be formed if the mechanism is unimolecular and it follows these two steps which we have seen in the previous slide. Then similarly, if we measure the ratio of rate constant for isotopic exchange and rate constant for racemization. So one is that this H will be replaced by deuterium, and other thing is that if this is optically active, then racemization will take place after the formation of the carbanion. And when we study the reaction kinetics, and we measure this ratio Ke upon Ka, where Ka is the rate constant for isotopic exchange and Ka is the rate constant for racemization. When this is more than 1, means the product will be formed with retention of configuration, whereas if this ratio is 1, that means there is racemization which is taking place, and if this ratio is 1/2, that means inversion of configuration is taking place. So on the basis of measurement of the ratio of these two constants, we can tell whether the reaction is taking place by retention of configuration or by racemization or with inversion of configuration. So depending upon this, we can predict whether this unimolecular mechanism will give us products with retention, racemization or inversion of configuration. So all these three types of behaviors, they were found depending upon the aliphatic substituent which is present as a substrate, or the type of base which we use for aliphatic electrophilic substitution reactions. And in addition, the solvent also determines whether any of these three things will happen, whether retention or racemization or inversion of configuration. So then second is bimolecular mechanism, that is electrophilic substitution bimolecular in case of aliphatic systems. And similar to unimolecular mechanism, this is analogous to nucleophilic substitution bimolecular, and in this case also a new bond is formed and an old bond breaks. And as I have told you that this bimolecular electrophilic substitution reaction can take place in two ways, either the electrophile as an attacking reagent attacks from the front side, or it attacks from the back side. So this is written wrongly, Se2 back instead of front over here. So when electrophile attacks from the front side, so this is the leaving group, So when it attacks from the same side, we say front side attack of the electrophile, then that means the electrophile will get attached to the same side to which the leaving group was attached. So that means the product will be formed with retention of configuration. So this is how we can differentiate between attack from the front side or attack from the back side. And similarly, when electrophile will attack from the back side to the side where leaving group is attached, then the product will be formed with inversion of configuration. So these two things can be predicted very easily on the basis of use of optically active compounds and substrates. So if you use an optically active substrate, and if there is retention of configuration, that means the mechanism being followed is bimolecular electrophilic substitution front. If the product formed is by inversion of configuration, then bimolecular electrophilic substitution from the backside attack. So this is how we can differentiate between these two types of mechanism which is being followed in the bimolecular electrophilic substitution reactions. Then is SEI mechanism. This is also a bimolecular mechanism, and this is also similar to what you have seen in case of bimolecular nucleophilic substitution. And here the attacking reagent is an electrophile attached to a nucleophilic part which attacks from the front side to form a product. So electrophile is attached to a nucleophilic part. This nucleophilic part will combine with the leaving group, and electrophile will get attached to the same side to which this leaving group was attached. The mechanism is such. So internal, this is called as internal electrophilic substitution reaction, and here the product formed will be with the retention of configuration. So if we see the mechanism, only difference from bimolecular electrophilic substitution from the front side is that there we were having only electrophile as the attacking. Now here electrophile is attached to a nucleophile, and there leaving group left as X negative, and here this will get attached to nucleophile immediately, and we will get a product with retention of configuration, similar to what we have seen in case of bimolecular electrophilic substitution reaction from the front side attack. So the lecture has been prepared from a book on Jerry March. Thank you very much.